Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see about break and continuous statement with some program example. So I have taken an example of prime number to illustrate break statement. So first we will see what is a prime number. A prime number is a number which is divisible only by 1 and by itself. It is not divisible by any other number. Okay. If a number, for example, you take a number 17, which is divisible only by 1 and by 17, it is not divisible by any other number. So if it is so, then it is called as a prime number. We will take another example, say 25. It is divisible by 1 and it is also divisible by 25, and in between you can see it is divisible by 5 also. It is divisible by any other number other than 1 and itself, then it is not a prime number. So we are going to see the program in detail. Okay. So here I have declared some variables. The first variable I declared is flag, which I defined as 0. This variable is used to indicate that the number is divisible by any other number. So if it is divisible by any other number, then this 0 will become 1. So that is the reason I use this variable. Next I have an input statement. I am getting an integer value and then storing it into a variable num, which is of integer type. Next statement is a loop statement. Here you can see that I value is starting with 2 and ending with lesser than num. That means if the number is 17, it will start from 2 till 16. That means it will skip the first number and the number itself. So why I am doing this is I am going to divide the number with the I value every time. So it keeps on checking the number with whether it is divisible by any other number other than 1 and itself. So I have skipped that 1 and the number itself. So that's the reason I given like this. Now inside the loop we can see if number is number modulus I equal to 0. So this statement will check whether the number is divisible. It returns a reminder. If the remainder is 0, then the number is divisible. Say for example, if I take the value 4 is divisible by 2. So what will happen is this value becomes true. That is the remainder is 0 if it is divisible. So this becomes true. So if it becomes true, what happens is the flag value is changed to 1, and then you are going to stop the program. Why you are stopping the program is stopping the loop is you found out that it is divisible one extra time, so that it is not a prime number. So no use of continuing the loop, okay, till the end. So once you found it is not a prime number, no need to go forward. You can stop the execution of the loop. That's the reason we have put the break statement here. Okay. So it terminates this loop. It comes out of that. So it will check whether the flag value is equal to 1. So since it is number value is 4, the flag value has changed to 1, and then you executed the break statement. So straight away it comes here. So already it has been changed to 1. So this will be true. So it will print whether the number is not a prime number. We will take another example. Say we will take an example 5. Here it will start from 2. 5 is divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible. Then it goes on to the next iteration. I plus plus will increase the value by 1. So it becomes 3. 3 whether it is divisible by 5, whether it is divisible by 3. No, it is not divisible. So it goes on like that till 4. It is not divisible. So once the loop is the execution is over, it comes out automatically. Now you can check the flag value is not changed. It is still it is equal to 0. So here the condition will be false. So it goes to else part and print it is a prime number. This is how this program works, and this is how the break statement works in this program. Okay, I am going to compile this program. No syntax errors. So right click on this, execute the program, click OK. Now I am entering the first value. Say I entered 17. 17 is a prime number because it is not divisible by any other number other than 1 and 17. Second example, so I am giving 25. See here it is divisible by 5, which is other than 1 and 25, so it is not a prime number. Now next program I am going to illustrate how the continuous statement works. Here what I am going to do is I am going to accept the values one by one and check whether the numbers are positive number. If it is positive number, I am going to find the sum of that numbers. If it is a negative number, I am going to skip that. So we will see the program. So here I got some list of variables. First variable is to get the number. Okay. So I am going to ask the user to enter the positive numbers. I am going to check that condition whether it is positive number. If it is so, then I am going to add it into sum. If it is a negative number, I am not going to add. Okay. Here I used an example of do while loop. So since I use do while loop, the initialization should be done before the loop. So I have done before the loop I equal to 1 is been given here, and I am going to go till I less than or equal to 5. So I am going to execute this loop 5 times. Then I got a variable sum which will store the sum value. Now we are going to go to the do while loop. So first statement is I am going to get the input. So if you want to keep on getting the input, then you have to use the input statement inside the loop statements. Okay, so that you can stop the program once it has been once the condition is satisfied. So this input statement will work 5 times. Okay, that depends upon the condition given. So the number you are going to enter will be stored in num. You are just checking whether the number is lesser than 0. That means if it is a negative number. If it is a negative number, you are not going to store any, that is you are not going to add it to the sum, you are going to continue. That means you are going to skip the iteration and go on to the next iteration. That means it will go to this part, checks whether the I value is increased. No, it is not increased because it is skipped. It comes directly to the condition statement. The I value still it's 1, so it goes to the next iteration. Now again it will enter the number, checks whether the number is negative. Now this time if it is positive, it will skip this statement, continue, it goes down to sum. So it will add the positive number to sum and then increases the value of I. Okay. So only if the number is positive, it will add the number. Okay, and then it will increases the value of I. That means if you keep on giving negative numbers, the iteration will not increase. Okay, that I value will be constant. It will not be increased until you give the positive value. So once you give 5 positive values, the program will stop. That is a loop iteration will stop and then comes out of that and then prints the number. That is sum of positive numbers will be displayed. So you are going to execute, compile this and then check the program. Okay, so I am going to enter some numbers. Say first I am entering say 45, a positive number. Then I am going to enter a negative number. Again a positive number. So 2 positive number I entered. Then another positive number. Then I am going to enter a negative number. Then I am going to enter a positive. Now already I entered 4. So it will wait till I enter the 5th number. Okay, so it keeps on executing the loop. So you can see that skip state continuous statement works till I enter the 5th number. So I am entering the 5th number here. Now you can see that the program stops and prints the sum of positive numbers on the screen. So this is how the continuous statement works in this program. Hope you understood this video. We will see in the next video. Thank you.